Let's not waste time. Someone is talking about you right now. You don't know it, but it's happening. Somewhere, your name is being brought up in a conversation you'll never hear, by someone who doesn't have the guts to say it to your face. And it's not just an opinion, it's a twisted version, a distorted, chopped-up story served in a tone that flips what actually happened into something it never was. And the person telling it? They're smiling, pretending it's harmless, like they're just casually sharing something. But underneath that smile, they're poisoning how others see you. That's the worst part. They're not your enemy. They're worse. They're a gossiper. These people hide behind fake concern. They pretend they care. But what really feeds them is your mistake, your fall, your flaws, real or invented. And here's the dark truth. They might even be telling it to someone you trust. See, gossip isn't just talk. It's a weapon, a virus. It spreads quietly but destroys loudly. It infects reputations, breaks bonds, and reshapes how others see you, sometimes permanently. But nobody wants to admit that, because gossip always hides. It wears a mask. It sounds like, I'm just telling you because I care. But it's a trap. Gossip is emotional cowardice. It's how people without purpose feel important. They don't need facts. They don't need talent. They just need a voice. And the juicier the lie, the louder they speak. You ever had someone start with, "No offense, but..." Yeah, that's the cue. That's the opening shot. What follows is always a subtle takedown, with gloves on. Because gossipers never attack head-on. They operate in the shadows. They don't want justice. They want drama. They don't need truth. They need attention. And if dragging you down gets it, even better. And it gets worse. Sometimes it's not a stranger. It's a coworker, a family member, a friend. People who greet you with a smile, then stab you with their words the moment your back is turned. Why do they do it? Because your life is more entertaining than theirs. Because your name fills the emptiness inside them. Because they haven't faced their own failures, so they obsess over yours. And you become a story, a version of yourself you don't control. You turn into a rumor, a talking point. Someone else's version of you starts to circulate, and the horror is, you can't stop it. Gossip can't be confronted. It spreads. By the time you even know it exists, it's already shaped how others see you. And guess what? The people doing it? They've done nothing with their own lives, so they study yours. They take their insecurity and disguise it as concern. They dress up envy as insight. And if you think this video is just about gossip, you're missing the point. This is about what fuels it, the emotional rot behind it. Because nobody gossips by accident. Every word is calculated. Every whisper has a purpose. Gossip is power, twisted, quiet, but power nonetheless. And the gossipers, they don't want you to know they're hurting you. They want you smiling while you bleed. But here's the hardest truth. What if you've done it too? Ever said something about someone that wasn't yours to share? Ever whispered something to feel that brief, sweet second of superiority? Yeah, that's gossip too. This isn't just about what's been done to us. It's about what we tolerate, what we let slide, what we've helped spread. Because while you're out here trying to heal, trying to grow, someone else is chaining you to your past using stories that aren't even theirs to tell. And if you think I'm being dramatic, ask yourself, why do people hold back from doing what they want? Why are we so scared of embarrassment? It's not the mistake we fear. It's the echo, the whispers, the gossip. And gossipers, they've made that echo their art. So no, this isn't just another video. This is a mirror, uncomfortable, raw, but real. Because the gossiper, they're not just some side character in your story. They're the termites in your foundation. Slow, hidden, quiet, but relentless. And by the time you realize the damage, they're already moving on to their next victim. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about the next level. Emotional micro-betrayal. It's not just about talking behind your back anymore. This one's worse, because it happens right in front of you. This is when someone smiles at you, laughs with you, acts like they've got your back. But inside, their loyalty's already gone. You just don't know it yet. To them, you're not a person. You're currency. Your story? Their ticket to belonging in another circle. They're not sharing because it's helpful. They're sharing because it gives them access, clout, validation. And that kind of betrayal? It cuts deeper than insults or direct hate, because it's intimate, You trusted them. You opened up. You thought they understood what loyalty meant. Meanwhile, they were just gathering material for the next conversation. That's the reality. Some people eat with you just to gather ingredients for the feast they're planning without you. And they do it effortlessly. Not because they're evil, but because they're empty. They have no center, no sense of self. They survive off validation. And if that means selling your secrets to feel seen, they'll do it in a heartbeat. But it doesn't end there. Here's where it gets darker. Betrayal doesn't start when someone speaks. It starts when someone listens and says nothing. How many times have you sat in a room while someone shredded another person's name and you said nothing? That silence? It's complicity. Because gossip needs an audience. It needs people who nod, laugh, stay curious. Otherwise it dies. So if you just sat there and let it happen, you're not innocent. You're part of the show. Even if you didn't say a word, you were holding the curtain open while someone else got shredded. Now breathe. Think about your closest circles. How many people constantly speak badly about others to you? And now, how many of those same people do you think don't do the same thing when you're not around? Exactly. It's simple. If someone feels comfortable betraying someone else with you, they'll betray you with someone else. It's not about you. It's their nature. And the sooner you accept that, the less it'll hurt. But here's the most twisted part. Gossip doesn't just ruin reputations. It rewires you. When you constantly consume gossip, stories soaked in jealousy, envy, and projection, it starts to change how you see the world. You begin to judge before asking. You start distrusting before even knowing. You hesitate, not because you're being careful, but because you're scared. Gossip doesn't just ruin what others think about you. It poisons what you think about life. And here's the trap. You think you're just staying informed. You think you're just listening. But gossip isn't knowledge. It's noise. It's psychological junk food. And the more of it you consume, the more clouded your thinking becomes. The gossiper becomes your dealer. You become hooked, not to the story, but to the feeling of knowing. They've got access. They've got drama. They've got the power to say, "Did you hear what happened?" And you eat it up. Because deep down, we all fear being left out. That's the bait. And it works. Gossip isn't just toxic to your relationships, it's toxic to your perception. And escaping it, it's not easy. Because it doesn't come in obvious forms anymore. It's not just the whisper behind your back. It's the casual comment over coffee. It's the, "I swear I didn't tell anyone, but..." It's the disguised jab in a group chat. Every interaction is a test. Are you feeding the chain or breaking it? But here's what makes it terrifying. Nobody wants to be the one who breaks it. Because the second you do, you become the next topic. Now pause. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, "I hate drama," while stirring it nonstop? Exactly. Gossip has evolved. It's smart now. It doesn't call itself gossip anymore. It calls itself just being honest, sharing my truth, being real. But behind all those labels, same poison, same destruction. And worst of all, some gossip doesn't just ruin reputations, it ruins lives. There are people who never recovered. Not from a punch, not from failure, but from a story, a lie, a twisted truth, something said at the wrong time to the wrong person. And it stuck. It followed them, shaped them, broke their confidence. And the person who said it probably doesn't even remember. That's the terrifying part. Gossip leaves bruises you can't see, and the ones who caused them keep smiling. But here's the plot twist no one talks about. Gossip is just the symptom. The real disease? Powerlessness. People who constantly gossip don't feel in control of their own lives. They can't shine through effort, so they dim your light instead. They don't have a story of their own, so they hijack yours. Their criticism is camouflage. Their honesty is envy in disguise. They don't want you to fall. They want you to not rise. Because your growth reminds them of everything they've ignored in themselves. So if they can make others doubt you, stain your name, twist the way people see you, they get to believe you didn't deserve your success. That's not truth. That's revenge. That's resentment pretending to be insight. So now we're here, pulling the mask off the gossiper, not the cartoon villain, the real version, charming, smiling, often liked by everyone, but lethal in silence. Not with fists, with words. Words that stick, words that echo. And now that you see them clearly, what are you going to do with that truth? Because this isn't about clean lines. There are no perfect victims here. We've all heard it. We've all let it happen. Some of us have even spread it. The question is, who's brave enough to stop it? Because gossip's real danger isn't just in what's said, it's in how normalized it's become. And what's coming next will hit even harder. We're living in a world that celebrates gossipers. They're not hiding anymore. They're being rewarded, shared, followed, monetized. Intimacy has become a product. And drama? Currency. The more pain you reveal, the more views you get. The more chaos you spread, the more attention you gain. And modern gossipers? They know that. They film it, post it, call themselves truth tellers or analysts. But what they're actually doing is distorting stories, carefully curated for clicks. Want proof? Look at the content that spreads the fastest. It's not the helpful stuff. It's not the healing. It's the scandals, the leaks, the whispers with bite. And every time you share it, every time you nod or laugh or pass it on, you're taking part in it. You're in the crowd, watching the silent execution, pretending it's entertainment. Meanwhile, the person being gossiped about, they feel it. They notice the stares, the quiet distance, the awkward energy, but they don't know why. Until one day someone finally says it. They said that you... And that's where the real fall begins. Because once the lie spreads, the truth has no chance. You can scream your side, you can try to fix it, but when people have already swallowed the poison, your truth is just background noise. That's the cost. Gossip doesn't destroy loudly. It corrodes silently until you're left alone, misunderstood, and unsure how it even started. So let me tell you something important. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. That tension you felt in certain rooms, that sense someone was off, that was your body knowing before your mind could explain it. And yes, they said it with a smile. But here's what kills gossip. Not silence, but awareness. Conscious resistance. The radical decision to not play the game. The world will always be full of noise, people trying to pull you into their chaos. But you can choose to be different. You can choose to build instead of tear down. You can choose to stay silent when words would only wound. And now comes the most powerful truth I can leave you with. Gossip only has power if you give it meaning. So if you hear they're talking about you, don't chase, don't explain, don't try to clear your name in mouths that were never clean. Let them talk. Let the mud dry. Because time always reveals who crawled through the dirt to throw it. And promise yourself this. From today forward, when someone comes to you with gossip, look them in the eye and ask, "And why are you telling me this?" Simple, direct, and deadly to the gossiper. They can't survive the light. Their power is only in the shadows. So here's your challenge. If you've made it this far and this video spoke to something inside you, comment below. I am more than what others say about me. Say it. Own it. And if you see someone else write it, like it. That's how we recognize each other. The ones who choose to live with integrity. If this video hit a nerve, if it made you uncomfortable, then good. That means it's working. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. This channel isn't for people looking for soft, shallow distractions. It's for people ready to face what most run from. Hit that bell. Because what's coming next, it'll challenge you even deeper. Maybe we'll meet in the next video, or maybe we'll just cross paths in someone else's gossip. But when they speak your name, you'll be here. Silent, focused, growing without explaining, rising without defending. Because the truth is this, those who talk behind your back were never standing with you in the first place. So don't stay silent out of fear, but never speak without purpose. And if the world burns with rumors, be the silence that scorches. See you in the shadows.